There were air raid sirens sounding in the central part of Israel, an indication that 11 days into this conflict, Hamas and Islamic Jihad are still able to fire on major population centers here.
Fox's Trey Yangston, southern Israel, reports Hezbollah militants have been firing rockets also from Lebanon.
Israel has to be prepared for this to develop into a multi-front conflict, and it's part of the reason, according to reports, that the Israelis are taking their time before launching this ground invasion into Gaza.
Where nearly 200 hostages are being held, Hamas released a video of an injured Israeli captive last night. Tomorrow, President Biden will go to Israel for talks with the Prime Minister, the Palestinian President, and the leaders of Jordan and Egypt. And Fox's Brooke Singman reports.
More than 2,000 troops have been ordered to be on standby for a possible deployment to Israel. As far as we know, the U.S. service members headed towards Israel will provide medical support for Israeli forces, not for combat.
A manhunt for suspected terrorist ended this morning in Brussels when police shot and killed him.
Thousands of Sweden supporters had gathered in the city for a soccer game with Belgium. 2 were shot dead and a third injured in an automatic rifle attack 3 miles from the stadium. Later, a man identifying himself as a member of ISIS posted a video saying he carried out the attack.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. 2 weeks after Kevin McCarthy was ousted as House Speaker, House Republicans plan to vote today considering Jim Jordan.
The American people deserve to have their Congress, their House representatives working. And they can't have that happen to get a speaker, so we need to do that.
And Jordan says he's more confident now, though there are still some holdouts who oppose the outspoken conservative. It only takes a handful of Republican no's to block Jordan. Former President Trump will be questioned today under oath in a deposition stemming from lawsuits filed by the 2 people who were inside the FBI, exchanging now infamous anti-Trump texts. While Peter Strzok played a key role in the Trump-Russia collusion investigation, he and Lisa Page are suing. America's listening to Fox.
The best way to stop Joe Biden's agenda is to opt out of his inflation game by diversifying your savings into gold. I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is why I recommend a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to 989898 right now.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The judge overseeing one of the 4 looming Trump criminal trials issued a limited gag order against the former president from commenting on her or the special counsel, court staff, or witnesses in the case related to Trump efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Now, while campaigning in Iowa as the 2024 Republican frontrunner, the former president vowed to appeal, saying they're trying to silence him. He can't even criticize people.
So unconstitutional. The good thing is we have so much support, it's incredible.
Now, there's a new Fox poll that asks voters about Trump indictments and President Biden's son.
The same number, 52% in this Fox News poll, believe Hunter Biden did illegal business overseas and that former President Donald Trump broke the law by handling classified documents and allegedly trying to overturn the 2020 election. On the question of whether both were treated fairly by the legal system, more, 68% to 55% say Hunter Biden was handled with more fairness than the former president. On the other side, 44% said the law treated the 45th president less fairly. Only 25% think Hunter Biden's treatment was unfair. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, the day after big gains that lifted the Dow up more than 300 points, stock futures are down modestly. In the baseball playoffs, the Rangers remain undefeated. Texas beat Houston 5-4 to go up 2-0 in the American League Championship Series. In the NL,
regular season, now Harper deep into right center, and he'll watch this one fly.
Bryce Harper homered and drove in another run, powering Philadelphia past Arizona 5-3 on TBS. In that championship series opener, Game 2 is tonight. On Monday Night Football, Dallas closed out Week 6 of the NFL season with a win. The Cowboys beat the Los Angeles Chargers 20-17. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois officials monitoring the conflict in the Middle East and potential threats in the states. Governor's been briefed by the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security and the Illinois State Police. He's instructed both to work closely with law enforcement partners and to be on heightened alert for any threats. Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan being awarded $1 billion in federal funding for the Midwest Hydrogen Hub. The hub is a multi-state, multi-sector network that enables decarbonization through strategic hydrogen use. It aims to reduce carbon emission by almost 4 million metric tons per year. The network will leverage all 3 state assets to expand the reach of the local hydrogen economy. Illinois Attorney General suing City Water, Light and Power. It's owned and operated by the city of Springfield, providing drinking water and electricity to the local residents. Lawsuit accuses the department of releasing more than 700 tons of fly ash into the environment back in 2021. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim Miller. Good morning. It's Stevie Jay coming out of your radio. Diane Ducey's right over there.
Hi.
Harvest, Mr. Greg Solier, meteorologist extraordinaire. I guess there's some space issues at some of the elevators. That's really what's kind of keeping people from where to take the grain.
I was telling Stevie, Greg, how you were helping yesterday as I write for the Southern Champaign County Today and giving us some statistics on how things are going out there in the field.
Well, let's hear about it. Weather brought to you by Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise. You want an evaluation on your copy plans with color printing, etc. Call Greg Wolf. Watts Copy Systems, where service is more than a promise. So what do we know, Mr. Solier?
Well, we know it's a somewhat foggy morning in some areas. You know, one little added point to the harvest thing, and Diane and I could have gone on and on with that article and needed more space. But, you know, we still have issues on the Mississippi River Basin. It is very low. We're close to record low levels, much like we were last October. Quad Cities, one spot. I believe it's Greenville, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, just last week. They're almost a foot below average. So that is probably adding to the backlog and back up of getting, proper storage. It's, starts there or ends there, and certainly starts perhaps at the local grain elevator. I know we've got some elevators over at Royal, Illinois. I've been over there a few times. That is probably a situation we're going to have to keep an eye on getting deeper into the harvest season and beyond from there is where we're going to put it unless we get some significant recharge and water levels to rise in the Mississippi River. In any event, I digress back to the matters at hand here locally. A little bit of a chillier morning. Some fog areas as well. You get over towards Danville, they're 39, and visibility is at 3/16 of a mile there. Same at Willard and Savoy, 36, 37 up at Paxton and at Rantoul at the current time. So heads up accordingly here for the next couple of hours. No advisories, but visibilities are down to small fractions of a mile in a few pockets. Partly sunny otherwise. 61 for the day today, 42 tonight, up to 67 as south winds pick up tomorrow with increasing clouds. Late in the day, there may be a shower west of us. A couple of showers for tomorrow night and Thursday. These will not be big rains like we had that came here late Friday with harvest in mind, probably quarter to a little less than a half an inch. 64 on Thursday. Could be a sprinkle here in the early afternoon on Friday. No issues for the parade at 63. Kickoff at 62 degrees with a partly sunny football Saturday and highs again lower 60s. More dry weather ahead Sunday and Monday of next week. Steve Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
He is a political news contributor, host of Grassroots Truthcast podcast. It's Gene Valentino, the great town of Pensacola, Florida. Gene, how are you?
And a pleasant good morning.
Good morning to you. Will we have a Speaker of the House today?
50-50 shot. We'll know, I hope, by 12 noon. Jim Jordan has closed the gap, but we still have about 10 Republicans that may still oppose him. This is a scary time. I don't know what speaking of scary, I don't know what the Republicans are so concerned about. I'm beginning to wonder, are the Republicans scared that Jim Jordan may, in fact, fix Washington, D.C.? I would have been happy with either Scalise or Jordan, but at this point, I'm tired of looking at all these Benedict Arnolds in the crowd that are messing things up in the first place.
Has there ever been a Democrat in the history of mankind to ever vote against their bloc? It's amazing. I give the Democrats credit. They never go off their. They always never. They don't break. Why can't the Republicans figure something like that out?
Well, think about it. At the 11th hour, when Kevin McCarthy came in, he acquiesced in the spirit of cooperation and went to a rule of just one. So any one House of Representative party person can bring forward the motion to oust the Speaker. Nancy Pelosi never had that rule. She had a little cabal of her own with 6 to 12 people. Her rule was that you had to put, I forgot the exact number, 6 to 12 people had to get together and come forward with the motion to remove the Speaker. That's what protected her.
But didn't she tell McCarthy to give it to him and that they have his back? Didn't she? Is that true? That's what I...
Yeah, that is...
How'd that work out for her, Kevin? Did make a deal with wasn't that a George Herbert Walker Bush, no new taxes, the Democrats had his back? I remember
that. There you go.
Wow.
Yep.
What the heck?
There you go. So we've got to be more stern. We've got to have good leadership. Look, I commend McCarthy for what he was trying to move the mountain in the few months he was on board. But and how do you tell me in this democracy, how do you make 100% of the people happy 100% of the time?
No.
The leadership issue is the most important thing right now. Hostages remain captive while Israel invasion is about to loom. Hamas is trying to show they are taking care of at least 199 hostages in Gaza, and we don't have good leadership in the House of Representatives to do what?
No.
Protect our own border first, for crying out loud.
It's a dizzying time, Gene, a dizzying time. So I figured out how the young college students that are protesting have kind of dealt with the fact that the massacre was so brutal. They don't believe it. They simply say it didn't happen. It was AI. It was special effects. The Israelis lying. They didn't behead babies. You're lying. I don't know how you even talk to that. It's so many people. CNN reported. I mean, it's just, I don't know how you deal with it when they deny everything that is bad on their side.
Mass formation psychosis. Good point. There is a movement to try to sway, and it's happening through the colleges and universities, to steer the thinking of our college students. And some of the professors are on board now pushing this. Now, regardless of your political point of I don't know how a good brain surgeon learns in college and universities the specifics of a good surgery with this kind of diatribe flying around him in the environment in which he's trying to get a degree and learn. Same applies for any other profession that you're coming out of trying to come out of college with. We need to get back to the basics in college and universities of training our students to become leaders in this nation. Right now, it's a transformation cesspool that's trying to transform the thinking, and I suspect the leaders, the new leaders that come forward in the Congress and the president must step up and do what's necessary to bring us back to what our universities were intended to be.
Yeah, well, that doesn't feel like I think this has been going on for 50 years. It's just been a gradual evolution, and now it's like,
yes,
oh my gosh, goodness. Gene Valentino, how can people connect with you, sir?
Oh, thank you. We have a website, GeneValentino.com, and on it is Gene Valentino's Grassroots Truthcast, where we do interviews and have guests on weekly. Last week, we had Elliot Chodoff on. He was the Israeli Defense Forces officer who was giving us some insight on what was going on within Israel as it was happening. That was about 7 days ago we did that interview with Mr. Chodoff. He's providing consultation and insight to Israeli leaders on an attack approach on how to deal not only with Hamas within the Gaza Strip, but the Hezbollah at the north in Lebanon.
Right, that's a danger as well. Gene, appreciate your time this morning. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Gene Valentino on the Talman's Towing phone line. ESPN 93.5, 7:15 with some sports headlines.
So I was just looking at the preseason AP Top 25 poll, and Illinois is at number 25. So but I'm looking.
Basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kansas is number 1.
Yep.
And that game is in this month.
October 29,
Yes.
the Kansas Jayhawks come to Champaign for a play date. This is an exhibition scrimmage. $125.
We're taking on the number 1 team in the nation.
It's just a play date. It's with our Bill Self in a play date.
Wow.
Kids do it all the time.
I know.
So it's $175 for the lower level, and then we're raising money for Maui?
Yes, Maui Strong is the theme. I know Game Day Spirit has gotten on board at the last week of October. They'll have a bunch of, shirts that people can buy. I mean, it's going to be fun, but I didn't realize they were number 1.
Yeah, they got Hunter Dickinson added to a bunch of other 5-star people. Now you got a veteran guy. Bill Self told Brad Underwood in the phone call to set all this up that he's going to walk in the State Farm with Hunter Dickinson and tell all the booing is for him, not Bill Self. And Brad said, that's brilliant, Bill. Anyway, it'll be a fun thing, and it kind of tells Illinois can kind of see where they are stacked up against some really good players.
Right.
So, that's it. It'll be fun. I think a lot of people are looking forward to it.
And this article says the talent returning this season includes Terrence Shannon Jr. and Coleman Hawkins back into the fold after they were legit NBA caliber players on their roster. So.
I saw Luke Goody at church. He was with Marcus DeMance, the new kid from Southern.
Yes.
I would say exactly the same height. Luke Goody 6'7", 6'8". Marcus is exactly looks the same to me. So
okay.
He's the new guy that also can shoot the 3. So we're hoping here.
Number 2 is Duke, and then we have some, Big Ten in the top 5 here with Purdue at number 3 and Michigan State at 4. And Marquette is 5.
Wow, we get Marquette going.
Marquette's in the first 5 games.
They're coming here. Okay, that's good. It's good.
In November.
And they're top 5?
Yeah, they're number 5.
Marquette?
I know.
Okay, fine.
And that's why Father Joe Dondeville, who went to Marquette, wants to come see this game.
I don't blame him.
All right, so let's move on to, NFL action had the Dallas Cowboys beating the LA Chargers 20-17 yesterday. Thursday will be Jacksonville at New Orleans, Stevie. So take note of that.
Johnny will be there.
And I know that Indianapolis' quarterback, Anthony Richardson, will undergo some shoulder surgery this week. So yikes.
You just, these quarterbacks, that's why they throw a flag every time somebody breathes on them. They just go down.
I see.
And the quarterback, you got to have a great quarterback or you're not doing anything in the NFL. And that's why I said yesterday, Justin Fields can be a quarterback, but he can't be Superman. You can't let him get hit as much as he had. He can't grip the football today still. So I think the Bears have lost their quarterback for a while. So,
okay. Well, the Bears will be hosting the LA Raiders on Sunday, and the Colts are hosting Cleveland. So those are games to take note of. Of course, we're ready for Illinois and Wisconsin. That's a 2:30 start on Saturday. Our live broadcast will happen on Friday after 3 at Pia's. So join us. We've got tickets to the game that we're handing out and all kinds of fun things. And with it being homecoming, lots of guests coming in.
Weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you they've got all kinds of great programs. If you want to check it out or look at some job opportunities as a side hustle, urbanaparks.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and Vicinity. Pleasant days worth of early autumn weather ahead for the day today. After some areas of low clouds and fog, we'll get into some sunshine. Next weather system of Pacific origin. Expected to increase shower activity here between late tomorrow, more likely tomorrow night into Thursday. Could linger on Friday, but no big deal expected. Maybe just a couple of sprinkles with parade activities in mind for homecoming and for homecoming itself, the ball game, and into the weekend. Temperatures a little below average, but dry weather is expected. Same like today with a partly sunny sky, some fog patches around this morning. Heads up, keep the low beams on early on with a high temperature around 61. Light west wind, partly cloudy 42 tonight. Increasing clouds for the day tomorrow, breezy milder up to 67. Threat for a shower late in the day. And a couple of rounds of showers tomorrow night into Thursday, ending Friday quarter to less than half inch with harvest operations in mind. Highs up to about 64 on Thursday, 63 Friday, lower 60s for the weekend. Nights down near 40. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Solier.
Accumulation, preservation, generation. At Busey Bank, these are the principles we use to build meaningful financial partnerships with our clients and their families. With sound advice and vast resources, partner with Busey for a personalized approach to your legacy. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini, member FDIC.
Tapman's Towing, team of experienced professionals.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Investors are mulling over some big reports in this morning from Johnson & Johnson, Bank of America, and Goldman Sachs, all beating estimates for earnings and revenue, though the investment banking heavyweight Goldman Sachs did see profit decline from a year ago.
That shows you the drop, steep fall on real estate losses, and also the write-down of its Green Sky. It's fintech, does home loans. They're trying to ditch their consumer aspirations, their consumer side of the business.
Fox's Lauren Simonetti. And the British sterling is falling after data showed that growth in British workers' regular pay slowed from a previous record high, and job vacancies also dropped, with a softer labor market boosting the chance that the Bank of England will hold rates unchanged. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first, you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
All right, so Illinois, Wisconsin, the Badgers are favored, but not as much as they would have been had we lost to Maryland. Wisconsin comes in as a 4-point favorite. So there's that. Brett Bielema spotted at La Peep Sunday morning with his wife and 2 little girls.
Nice.
Having a little breakfast. And don't think that happens much.
Right.
I think these coaches, if you didn't know, college coaching has changed and evolved over the years to being a job where you work really hard, you get paid about $50,000 a year, and then see what happens, and then So now you get paid $1 million as a coordinator, not a coach. As the head coach, you get hundreds. It's a good paying job. It's really a lot of money. I think somewhere psychologically, I'm no psychiatrist. I think somewhere in the minds of these hardworking men is that I've got to earn this, so we got to get in there at 5:30 in the morning and leave at about 1 a.m. And I don't know why else you need to spend that much time coaching football. Sorry, I just, it's not brain surgery.
Right.
And you're missing everything in the family, and they know that, but they feel like, you got meetings, listen, they work really, really hard.
Right.
But they are working all the time. Yeah, I'm 6 a.m., 1 a.m. I mean it. Ask around. They work that many hours. Anyway, it's I would think a very difficult job when you're missing so much. So when Brett gets to be with his family, with any of the coaches get to be with their family, it's a treat. But they're intense and they're after it. And listen, pressure's on. You know it's great. You got a $6 million head coaching, great. But would you rather have the money or would you rather be successful? I would bet you. Now, the money takes care of a lot of worries. But wouldn't your legacy, you want to be winner versus, hey, you got $3 million, but we didn't win any games. Yeah, but you got $3 million. We didn't win any games. There's no satisfaction there.
Yeah.
It's nice, but when you get the money, it's not the money that we chase in the lottery and everything else is a scam. It isn't what makes you happy, but you can't tell people that because that's what makes them. Because if you just could get to, if you had this one, then it doesn't work like that. But you have to kind of get there. I never forget the story of the guy that was, $300,000 in debt and credit cards, and he built this company. And he said, we're worth millions now. He said, it was a scam. He said, this isn't it. You cannot hug a checkbook. It doesn't matter. And it was poignant, and I'll never forget. It's 30 years ago he told me that. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so these coaches work really, really hard. Brett Bielema gets to go to breakfast with his family, so happy. He had a victory dinner on Sunday night, I guess. And
right.
Victory dinners
and
mean what? What does it mean, victory dinner? You don't get steak on other nights? I don't get it.
It was a big win against Maryland.
You get rice when you lose, okay? That's it. Eat your rice and be happy.
Please, sir, can I have some more? I just think about the homecoming fountain dying. So he went to that too late morning on Sunday.
Good for him. Yep.
It was that kind of a day.
Homecoming
just celebrate
2023.
Yes.
So we'll see what we can get. But the whole thing with Maryland just brings the football back into play. We'd given up. Yes, we had. Don't say you didn't. You'd given up. You didn't care.
Did you actually put some money on the Illini?
I tell you,
were you leaning towards Maryland on Saturday?
My last thought was Illinois, just simply because I could not believe the wave of pessimism about everything.
Yep.
And so Brett Bielema will be on tomorrow at 8:05.
That's
if you
right.
want to hear the
Looking
head coach.
forward to that chat.
Okay, we have a $500 bill we're giving away to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You can't get this anywhere else. Just because you listen here and you know about Stever, you're in kind of a secret club. I have not really pushed it out there. You got thousands and thousands. I pushed it on the radio, but never out there like social media. Thousands and thousands of you have joined because you figured this out that you can get free money.
Yeah.
At good local businesses today, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. So if you have a need and you think you'll spend $1,000, and I hate to tell you, if you go in and buy anything, it's going to be $1,000.
I agree. They're located at 1510 North Neal Street, and boy, do they have a great selection.
I would suggest buying something on the floor. That's what we did with the washer dryer. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you're in for a long wait.
Mm-hmm.
It's still kind of slow if you want to get this one particular unit. That's this and that's
right.
If you want all that and they don't have it, then they'll order it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still going to take a while. So anyway, I've got $500. What you do is you either go to GoStever.com and enter, or text DVD as in Dick Van Dyke. Nothing to do with the actor. I always thought it did, but it doesn't. The Ricans own it. Dennis Rican.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you are interested, text in DVD. We're going to pick 2 people today to get $500 from me off something that costs $1,000 or more.
So has there been something been making you nervous? Maybe your refrigerator, your range, your washer, dryer.
Some things you just can only fix so many times.
Right.
So just text in 217-359-2255 and let me know if you're interested. If it's that time and you really need the dishwasher, you really need a washer dryer.
Maybe it's time to upgrade.
Yep. And the refrigerator's been acting up and the top's kind of warm, the bottom's freezing. Yeah, I speak from experience.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are interested in $500, you won't get any. You're not getting that in fistful of dollars. Come on, man.
That's right.
217-359-2255. My gift to you, $500 to spend at Dick Van Dyke. Go to GoStever.com or text in 217-359-2255. Text in DVD or Dick Van Dyke, and you'll be in the hopper, and you'll get a call or email later. Kind of checking you out, making sure this is what you want to do.
And then you'll head to 1510 North Neal Street inside the next 7 days.
All right, our old friend Boyd Matheson.
Nice.
He is the radio host, now doing television, too.
Out in Utah?
Things have changed. I tried to get him to run for Senate. I don't think he's going to do it. We'll talk to him next. ESPN 93.5.
Hey, Illini fans, it's the best time of the year. Homecoming. We can't wait to see you back on campus and at Memorial Stadium on Saturday, October 21st versus Wisconsin. Make sure to get in town early Friday for the homecoming parade and pep rally. Tailgating, family, homecoming, and Illinois football. What could be better than that? Get tickets at fightingillini.com.
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Biden accepts Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's invitation and will be in Israel tomorrow as a show of support for the war with Hamas terrorists in Gaza. From there to Jordan for meetings with Arab leaders.
Reiterating our belief, our strong belief that Hamas does not represent the vast majority of the Palestinian people. They are victims here as well.
National Security Council Coordinator John Kirby, a man suspected of killing 2 Swedish soccer fans in an Islamic terrorist attack in Brussels, Belgium, is found shot and killed by police after an overnight manhunt.
Thousands of Sweden supporters had gathered in the city for a soccer game with Belgium. 2 were shot dead and a third injured in an automatic rifle attack 3 miles from the stadium. Later, a man identifying himself as a member of ISIS posted a video saying he carried out the attack.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The soccer match was suspended halfway through, the stadium evacuated. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. 2 men in their early 20s hurt Sunday night after police say they were involved in a road rage shooting with another driver. Decatur police said the shooting happened about 7 in the 2000 block of North Oakland Avenue. Investigators determined the victims ages 20 and 22 had left a church function together. Champaign County Crime Stoppers asking the public for tips that can help solve an aggravated battery case at Urbana Pool last month. The battery happened September 3rd at Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center. Police said a woman became agitated when she was not allowed to bring an outside beverage into the facility, making threatening comments and using inappropriate language around other patrons. Parents say losing a child something that follows them every day, but what makes grieving easier is having a support system that understands. Sunday, Carl Health in Urbana took the time to remember the baby's loss and support the families in the process. The event was in honor of Pregnancy Loss Awareness Day. That's why Carl Health hosts an event in honor of families still going through the process. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. Our weather with meteorologist Greg Solier, brought to you this morning by Carl.
Carl reminds you they have some job opportunities. They're hiring. Recommendations on how to feel better faster. Carl.org.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and Vicinity. Pleasant days worth of early autumn weather ahead for the day today. After some areas of low clouds and fog, we'll get into some sunshine. Next weather system of Pacific origin. Expected to increase shower activity here between late tomorrow, more likely tomorrow night into Thursday. Could linger on Friday, but no big deal expected. Maybe just a couple of sprinkles with parade activities in mind for homecoming and for homecoming itself, the ball game, and into the weekend. Temperatures a little below average, but dry weather is expected. Same like today with a partly sunny sky, some fog patches around this morning. Heads up, keep the low beams on early on with a high temperature around 61. Light west wind, partly cloudy 42 tonight. Increasing clouds for the day tomorrow, breezy milder up to 67. Threat for a shower late in the day. And a couple of rounds of showers tomorrow night into Thursday, ending Friday quarter to less than half inch with harvest operations in mind. Highs up to about 64 on Thursday, 63 Friday, lower 60s for the weekend. Nights down near 40. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
I didn't mention yesterday Suzanne Summers, who was in Three's Company, among other things, was the Thigh Master entrepreneur.
Yes.
I had her on my radio show probably 40 years ago, and she was as nice as can be. All accounts is that she was really, really nice and a good human, married to the same man for 46 years.
Aww.
And just did a lot of things. But no, I remember talking to her. She had just posed for a picture in Playboy. And showed, her upper body.
Okay.
And I remember saying, Suzanne, I have to ask you about the Playboy. She said, okay. So we talked about that. She's very nice. Very, very nice woman.
Okay.
Died at 76, just about turned 77. Suzanne Summers, but a very pleasant woman. Enjoyed my memory of that.
And her birthday was yesterday.
Coming up. Yeah.
So she turned 77.
Just shy of that. 7:35. Ladies and gentlemen, Boyd Matheson, host of Inside Source, the Blowtorch Salt Lake City, Utah, KSL Radio. Aren't you on TV now, Boyd? What's going on?
I am on TV now as well. I have a nice Sunday show, the Sunday edition, and we do the drill on Sunday as well.
So, Mitt Romney's not running. What the heck? I thought we had this planned out. Secrets handshake, the whole thing. Why aren't you running for Senate in Utah, Bubba?
Because I'm talking to you.
You don't want to go back to the swamp because you spent a chief of staff for Senator Mike Lee there a number of years. So you're just not. That's not what you want to do in life right now, I guess.
We're actually weighing it out and giving it some good thought, and we'll see where that all goes. As you know, I know what the slog is. That it's one of those things. I always say everybody wants to be an author, but nobody wants to write a book.
Well,
a lot of people think they want to be the senator, but they don't want to go through the campaign, and they actually really just want to be a social media person. And so I know the back end of the job, and so that's really what we're evaluating. Is it highest and best use, and is it the best place for us to make a difference and have an impact? So we'll weigh all that out and sort it out. But I will let you know, Stevie J, I promise.
Hold on here. Wait a minute. You actually have to do something when you win? I thought it was just a lot of TV shows and make the rounds. I thought you actually have to vote on stuff.
I'll tell you, one member of the Senate actually told me that just remember, Boyd, the worst thing that could happen to you is you could win.
Wasn't Robert Redford? He won, and he says, "Now what?" And that was a movie
Now what?
50 years ago. Boyd Matheson on the 10-minute story phone line. So, Boyd, the Mitt Romney book is coming out. And that little nugget that, I don't know if you read this yesterday, that Oprah Winfrey offered to run with Mitt Romney to get rid of Trump. Is that true? Where Mitt would have been vice president to Oprah?
Yeah, I think that probably was about a nanosecond conversation, but but makes for a nice little tease to a big book watch.
Well, I bring it up because I really believe Oprah, Michelle Obama, and The Rock could all win. I mean, think of this. Dwight Eisenhower, who led the Allies, he said, "Let's go," and Normandy. And now we're down to that. We're down to celebrities. Yeah. That's where we are in America. I mean, there's a lot of worrisome things going on, and I guess to think that a celebrity could be president of the United States hurts me.
Yeah, it is sad that we've gotten so far down into the performative politics, or what our good friend, former senator, who got out and went to the University of Florida, Ben Sass, would always just call it performative jackassery. And that sort of seems to be the calling card for a lot of members of Congress these days. And that's a sad thing, because it's keeping a lot of good people out of the conversation, and it's causing a lot of great Americans to disconnect from the process, because it just doesn't make any sense to them. And why would they lean into that kind of conversations? We have to get back to civic dialogue. We have to get back to a different kind of conversation. We have some serious, as you alluded to, Stevie, we have to get back to some really serious conversations in this country. And we're not going to do that if everyone is just using an elected office as a platform, as a way to get personal gain or personal power, as opposed to actually doing the hard work and heavy lifting of that thing they call governing.
I don't know, Boyd. I really think I'm a very positive, trying to be very upbeat, let's write a musical kind of guy, but I don't know. I mean, you're talking to students right now about Israel, and they don't believe anything about massacre. They think it's propaganda. The 21-year-old thinks Israel's the villain, and they deserve this, and we're for Hamas, and they just don't believe the massacre stuff. They just don't believe it. So how do you have a conversation, a civil conversation with a human that isn't on the same truth level as you?
Yeah, it actually starts in our homes and communities, Stevie. If we're waiting all the way and hoping that the college campus is going to be the place for our young people to learn about how to engage in real dialogue and get to truth, not moral relativism, but real truth. Truth is truth. But that starts way upstream. And I think the problem is we're looking way downstream. And how do we control social media? How do we control the college campus? And this has to start in our own homes, our own neighborhoods and communities. And if we don't start there, everything else is going to be window dressing in the end, because then everything is relative and everything is, whatever my truth is, as opposed to what the truth is. And again, that's part of what we have to get back to. But that's up to us adults to make sure we're creating space for those conversations to happen.
I think it went south in the 60s with Vietnam. I think that's the beginning of it, the John Kennedy assassination. I think all of that just kind of snowballed. Things got really funky and different, and distrust and the explosion of Camelot and all these things. I think it's been going on 50 plus years of an evolution of very liberal people teaching our kids, and you try and raise your children and all these other things. But right now we're in a war on truth, Boyd.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And again, it requires each of us to start with where we are and what we're communicating out. And as you actually do that, it's amazing what happens. And it's not that you have to go in and beat people over the head, with the truth. That's usually not the best way to have influence. So how we do it actually matters as well. And if we're just, matching rage for rage, or if we're just going wild to get somebody's attention, the interesting thing to me, especially with young people, and I actually had Paul Ryan was out here, former Speaker of the House, last week, and he and I had a long sit down. He met with students on the campus of Utah Valley University, and it was really interesting. He said, he's been going across college campuses for a couple of years now as kind of a one-man focus group. And he said, I actually think the young people will be the ones to change it as long as we adults don't mess it up and get in their way. And so the interesting thing to me is that the young people have a great distrust in the institutions, but they have a great desire to connect with them. And so that's part of our job, is to make sure we're creating that connective tissue, again, back into community. Remember, community and culture lead, the politics will follow. Our politicians always tell us the opposite, that they're going to lead us somewhere. But historically, that just doesn't prove out. Well, it's always been community and culture.
And the politicians are the one that when they see a parade that's already left, they run to the front, right? I mean,
exactly.
They ask, my idea. I just am very pessimistic, unfortunately, about how that evolves, because really I think the change in America and some of the policies has been because of some of these folks that have now been voted in and have some power. And that's why you're seeing men playing on women's sports. That's why you're thinking men can have a baby. Things like that are just out of sight. And you're going, what happened to us? I mean, what are we thinking here? We can't roll up our sleeves and get to work. Somebody says something kind of funny or looks at me funny. I need a safe room. What the world? What would the folks on Ellis Island think of our population right now?
Yeah, I think you've hit something really critical there, Stevie, and I think there's two parts to it. One is this whole grievance mentality, this grievance politics, that you've been wronged, you've been hurt, you need to go to your safe room or your snowflake zone, and that's been very detrimental because it's not who we are as Americans. America's always been at its best when we are a country of big ideas, open, roiling debate about real issues, and then we get it done and we move on. But the other thing we have to remember, Stevie, is the answers to all of this. So I'm pretty pessimistic on our politics right now and our politicians. But I've never been more bullish about the future of the country. And let me tell you why. I live in a neighborhood just a few weeks ago for Constitution Day. We just decided we're just going to get together as a neighborhood. We gathered a couple of people who could play a couple of songs. We had a few words. And the neighborhood came out. We have this great little area in our neighborhood. It's a little catch basin. We call it the Grassy Bowl. And I'm telling you, as I looked around that Grassy Bowl at a couple of hundred people who on a Sunday afternoon just came out because they love the country. They love freedom. They love the principles of freedom and what it's done for them and for their children and grandchildren. And it's because of that the answers to the biggest ills of our time and the greatest challenges that our nation faces are not coming from the marbled halls of Congress. They're going to come from a grassy bowl in my neighborhood, in your neighborhood. It's people coming together, neighbor helping neighbor in need. It's the teacher that stays after class to help a fifth grader. It's that fifth grader that stands up to a bully for a friend who's getting pushed around. That's where it happens. It's the ultimate entrepreneur class when you have a brand new couple. I actually performed a wedding just 2 weeks ago. And I think that's the ultimate act of entrepreneurialism, is when you have a young couple coming to an altar to begin a new family in this country. And that gives me great hope. And again, you can look all around, and there's a lot of things to be worried about, a lot of things to wring our hands about. But it's people, and it's the good people of this country. We got to quit buying into what the politicians are telling us when they say, trust us. Trust us. We're the smartest. We're the ones. We need to trust the people, and the rest will take care of itself.
It's Boyd Matheson. He's a radio and television star, Salt Lake City, Utah, on the Tapman's Towing phone line, ESPN 93.5. So, Senator, Freudian, sorry.
Senator.
Good news, bad news. Good news, bad news. Good news, I want to write you $1 million check for your campaign. Bad news is you can't cash it. You just can't cash it. I know, and I frankly, you're amazing to even consider something like this, because I think you need to go in your garage, put on your bike helmet, hit your head on the wall 12 hours a day, and tell me how it goes to be a senator, because I think it'd be very, very difficult, particularly if you're in the minority.
No question, and they're both hard. I used to walk around the Capitol as the chief of staff, and I actually started what we called the Flat Forehead Society, because you walk around all day just slapping your forehead, saying it can't be this hard. Yeah, it just cannot be this hard.
Yeah.
So,
and I maybe a small thing, but I disagree with the wardrobe change in the Senate. You can't wear a sweatshirt and hoodie and shorts. You just can't do it. Show some respect for the United States of America. Yeah. Would you please?
Absolutely. And actually, they did change that back, so they are back to.
Well, good.
They are back. They did have a moment of clarity there, and went away from the hoodies and shorts on the floor of the Senate, which was just an abomination and just wrong. Okay. That's sacred space and holy ground, and we have to treat it that way.
All right, so give me your take on Israel. What do we do? What does America do? What is Israel's going to try and wipe out Hamas? I bet you anything, a dime on a dollar, that our administration is going to back off when this gets bad, and it's probably going to get bad. And then what do you do if Hezbollah hits from the north?
Yeah, so I think the interesting challenge is, and we've actually seen this just over the last 24 hours, you've gone from President Biden making a very strong statement in terms of standing with Israel and how important it was for Israel to be able to defend itself and to create space for their citizens to be free and free of fear. And now he's started to model and shapeshift that a little bit into something that's much more passive, that we need to show restraint, that we have to get past the peace. Secretary Austin very similarly said this is no time for moral equivalence. This is no time for hesitation. This is a time to be bold and to be strong. And now it's starting to shift as you see the challenges of moving through and trying to eradicate Hamas. That there is that, okay, wait a minute, kind of thing. And so I think that's going to be the real test for the administration, is to navigate that and to figure out what it is that Israel needs so that they can be free and that they can be free from the threats of what took place just a little over 10 days ago.
I think this is scary from a global perspective. I think if Hezbollah gets in and we're fighting two fronts, and Iran's rattling it, I mean, this could really, really explode on mankind. This could be bad.
Yeah, it could. Although I think some of the people that I've been talking to on the inside, I think there are enough incentives for Iran and for others to not have this escalate further. The thing I worry about is really the interconnectedness of Hamas and Hezbollah to Iran, Iran to Russia, Russia to North Korea and China, and it's really bringing that group of evil together. That's, I think, to your point, Stevie, is where the real worry is if that continues to escalate, or this all becomes, or where they're trying to assert their influence, why American influence in the Middle East is waning. You've actually had China, leaning in a lot of these relationships, as the Biden administration has not had a clear vision or a real strong set of resolve to lead in those spaces. And that's the real issue, I think, is will America continue to lead? I think that's important for our allies. It's also important for our enemies to understand. And that's the area where I think the administration has been weakest.
Well, lastly, Boyd Matheson, we need God at the center fold of everything, and we're fading on that. And this, read the Bible up and down, with God good, without God bad, and it's just cycling again. I don't know what we're doing when we try and step away from the Creator. So
there's no question about that. I have always believed that having faith in America's future begins with faith in America's future. If we have driven faith of all kinds out of the public square, if it's, okay, Stevie, you can have your belief, but just, do it in your closet, in your house, or in your synagogue or your church, if we don't allow people to bring their whole authentic self into the public square, and all the good that comes out of faith-based organizations and faith groups of all kinds in the public square, to me, that's the real threat to our constitutional republic, is if we so drive those principles, those values, those character traits, and all the good that happens in community. If you look at all the work that takes place for those that are suffering and struggling around the world, it's not being done by big government and even by big NGOs. It's faith. It's people of faith and of faith organizations who get it done, because they're the ones who are out there every day doing the hard work and heavy lifting of being a good human and making a difference for their neighbor, whether that neighbor's across the street or on the other side of the planet. We have to get back to that and valuing those differences, and then creating space. Again, there has to be space in the public square for faith and people of faith to be able to do that without fear. Otherwise, you are correct. It doesn't end well.
Boyd Matheson, in 2005, I interviewed a young senator. His name was Barack Obama. And I said, he'd been in office 144 days. And I said, Senator, they're talking about you running for president. And his response, and I quote, "I'm just trying to find the bathroom around here." And I think you should pull an Obama. I think you should put Barack Obama. Boyd gets in there, 144 days, boom, running for 2028 president. That's what you do.
Oh, man. Now you're really swinging for the fences, Stevie. Well, and that's just a bit outside.
Well, listen, I believe you'd have a very good chance to win in the state of Utah. Everybody knows Boyd Matheson out there, and it's just a question whether you want to go do that. And you got kids and grandkids. I don't blame you, but it's just, you're a good man, and you'd be great.
Well, we appreciate that, and either way, we'll continue to have these conversations.
You betcha.
We love way to start a day.
Love having a good, solid thinker. That's why you're a superstar. KSL Radio. Next time you're thinking of taking any time off, I'll swoop in and buy that station for $100 when you're gone. In any event, Inside Source KSL Radio. How can people listen to you, find you, Boyd?
They go to KSLNewsRadio.com. You can also just check out Sunday Edition on KSLTV.com. And we've had some really fun interviews there with everyone from Arthur Brooks to former Speaker Ryan. We had Mike Pence on a few weeks ago as well. So good range of good thinkers, George Will, and a host of others. So good conversations, good way to get your Sunday rolling with something to think about.
George Will's from 12 miles from where I'm broadcasting, and he won't be on with me. But anyway, nice job, Boyd. Way to go. Listen, appreciate having you always, Boyd. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, take care.
ESPN 93.5. Boyd Matheson out in Salt Lake City, Utah this morning, where it is 6:52. 7:52 in Champaign-Urbana. We'll check your weather with Greg coming up.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Hi, this is Kirk Lehman with Aftershock Decals and Design. And right now we are looking for an honest, hardworking individual that wants a career with Aftershock Decals and Design. If you have any kind of experience wrapping vehicles, tinting windows, we want you. You can't touch this. No, not that kind of wrapper. Can't touch this. Please go to our website at aftershockdd.com, click on the Jobs tab, and send in your resume. We want you. aftershockdd.com.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you can save an average of $889. The Brian Hansen State Farm Agency is ready to help you combine home and auto and save in Champaign-Urbana. Call 217-344-1900 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual household savings based on 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Well, let's check our weather forecast. What do we see out there, Mr. Meteorologist Greg Soyer?
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. Nice couple of days ahead across the area with temperatures inching back to more seasonal expectations for the day tomorrow. Next weather system of Pacific origin has a little more movement to it, not stalling out or slow moving like last week's system. And the rain amounts will be much lesser and lighter, so hopefully some opportunities to continue on with harvest in mind and what's been so far relatively good and accelerated harvest season. No worries for homecoming this weekend weather-wise for both Friday as well as for the ball game on Saturday. Some patchy fog around this morning, otherwise partly sunny. 61 will bottom out at 42 for tonight. Creasing clouds turning breezy and mild tomorrow up to 67. Chance for a shower to the west of us late in the day. Creasing south wind. Occasional showers tomorrow night, low down to 52. Couple of showers around for the day Thursday at 64. Might sprinkle for the parade on Friday, and that'll be mainly an early afternoon possibility, the high to 63. Kickoff temperatures at 62 for Saturday with some sunshine into Sunday and Monday. Highs again are in the lower 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Illini fans, for a limited time at Jets Pizza, new popcorn chicken pizzas. Their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. It's new and a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Try any of the four for just $17.99. Code BBQ. Their popcorn chicken pizzas are perfect to order while watching football with friends and family. Try their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. Just $17.99. Code BBQ. Jets, better because it has to be.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Frasca International in Urbana is a legacy founded in 1958 by aviation pioneer Rudy Frasca with a mission of improving safety in the skies. Would you like to make a difference in your job? Frasca is looking for an accountant, a CNC machinist, manufacturing and electrical engineer, and customer service support. Positions for software, aeronautical, mechanical engineer, and machine shop finisher are also available. Positions include an extraordinary benefits package. As an equal opportunity employer, you can learn more at frasca.com/careers.
Tavin's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
All right, so the Stever offer, the program where I, Stevie J, happily give you money to go shop at a wonderful business. Today's wonderful business is Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you $500 when you buy something that costs at least $1,000. And that's like 50% off your $1,000. Yeah. It's something you're not getting anywhere on the planet.
That's right.
And so if you want $500 and you need an appliance, this is your pathway to save money. So what you do is you text in DVD, Dick Van Dyke, to show your interest. We have a lot of people that obviously would take my money.
Sure, and we want you to move on this in the next 7 days.
Just go in and start the process.
Mm-hmm.
For some of these, it takes a little bit of time, so we understand that, but just move on it.
Yep.
You go in, and they'll be ready for you. Jeff Weathers is the manager out there, and I communicate with him. Like,
nice.
Diane Ducey's coming in today or coming in the next 7 days, and they have all your information ready to go, and then you look around.
And then we can let Jeff know how his staff did.
Yep, we have a little survey. Yep, that happens as well. So you go in there and you see, this is $1,100. Not for me. It's $600. Pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Text in 217-359-2255. Text in DVD if you're interested in that. Or go to GoStever.com. I got it up there. You can express interest by going to GoStever.com. Thousands of you have joined this club. That costs no money. Okay, good luck to you. We're going to break for the news and come right back. First interview in our 8 o'clock hour is talking about this ground war invasion that is happening imminently. They're looking over, I think, at Hezbollah coming, shooting. They've got Iranian missiles that they can shoot in the north of Israel. So you're going to have a war on two fronts of Hezbollah, also a proxy of Iran. By the way, Hamas has launched 6,500 rockets at Israel.
Wow.
6,000. How often are the air raid signs going off? It's many, many times a day.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back. It's ESPN 93.5. The news is next. That's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
I am Stevie J, and we'll be right back.
Are you tired of getting the short end of the stick and always being stuck with cold water for your showers? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing is here to help. With current tax incentives and rebates, you can save up to $900 on a high-efficiency tankless water heater, unlimited hot water, and saving on your energy bills. It seems like the best gift you could give your home. With the current promotion of 0% financing for qualified applicants, you can't afford not to call. 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Your home's best friend.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
A show of solidarity. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. President Biden leaves the White House tonight to fly to Israel for meetings with Israeli leaders about the war with Hamas terrorists in Gaza, a war that could be expanding to the north.
Hamas and Islamic Jihad continue to fire rockets into southern and central Israel, sirens sounding across this country, sending millions to bomb shelters. The anticipation is certainly high amid the questions about when this ground operation into the Gaza Strip will take place. The Israelis are concerned when they enter Gaza, almost immediately, the Lebanese militant group Hezbollah could start a massive attack on northern Israel.
Fox's Trey Yanks. After Israel, the president meets with Arab leaders in Jordan. What's believed to be the first Hamas hostage videos released of a 21-year-old French-Israeli woman asking to be released. She was kidnapped from a music festival where at least 260 people were killed. A vote's planned on the House floor this afternoon for Speaker of the House, maybe multiple votes if Republican Jim Jordan does not get enough Republican support at first.
I feel good about how things are moving.
The House has been without a speaker since Kevin McCarthy was voted out 2 weeks ago today. Former President Trump plans to be in court for his business fraud civil trial in New York today, and also he'll be answering questions under oath for lawsuits filed by former FBI employees Peter Strzok and Lisa Page, who'd exchanged disparaging text messages about him.
Strzok, a lead agent in the FBI's Russia investigation, is suing the Justice Department, saying he was wrongfully fired for exercising his First Amendment rights. The suit brought by Page, a former FBI lawyer, says the DOJ violated her privacy by giving copies of her text with Strzok to the news media. Both parties say the DOJ acted under pressure from Trump, who frequently went after them on social media, accusing Strzok of treason. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Retail sales were up 0.7% last month, more than twice what most economists expected. The Commerce Department report shows spending at restaurants was up 0.9%, spending online up 1.1%. America's listening to Fox News.
The best way to stop Joe Biden's agenda is to opt out of his inflation game by diversifying your savings into gold. I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is why I recommend a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. To learn more, text the word SHELTER to 989898 to get a free info kit on gold. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text SHELTER to 989898 right now.
Paid for by Birch Gold Group. Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's a manhunt for 4 inmates, including a murder suspect who broke out of jail in Macon, Georgia.
The sheriff's office says those 4 inmates escaped through a damaged window and cut a fence. The FBI and U.S. Marshal's office are both helping with the search. They say the escape happened in the oldest part of the jail, which was in a state of disrepair.
Fox 5 Atlanta's Christine Spiro reports about unreported gifts received by Supreme Court justices have led to calls for the court to adopt a formal ethics code. Justice Amy Coney Barrett says, good idea.
Particularly so that we can communicate to the public exactly what it is that we're doing in a clearer way.
Justice Barrett at the University of Minnesota Law School. The event was interrupted by abortion rights protesters who were removed by law enforcement. India's highest court refuses to legalize same-sex marriage.
All 5 judges on the Indian Supreme Court agreed only Parliament can change the law and allow same-sex couples to wed. Instead, the bench accepted the government's view that there should be a special committee to look into the problems faced by the LGBTQ+ LGBTQ+ community. The court emphasising same-sex couples must have their rights upheld and live free from abuse and harassment. Campaigners say they won't give up the fight for the right to marry. Gay sex was only legalised in India in 2018, until then punishable by up to 10 years in prison. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
Monday Night Football. The Cowboys beat the Chargers 20-17.
Major League Baseball playoffs in the American League Championship Series. The Rangers scored 4 runs in the first inning, held on for a 5-4 victory over the Astros. Texas taking a 2-0 lead over Houston. And the Phillies took Game 1 of the National League Championship Series with a 5-3 victory over the Diamondbacks. Bryce Harper hitting one of 3 home runs for Philadelphia.
That's Fox's Eric Messersmith. After yesterday's gain, stock futures are lower ahead of the opening bell on Wall Street. Dow futures down 83 right now. I'm Chris Foster. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Champaign County Crime Stoppers asking the public for tips that can help solve an aggravated battery case at an Urbana pool last month. The battery happened September 3rd at Crystal Lake Park Family Aquatic Center. Police said a woman became agitated when she was not allowed to bring an outside beverage into the facility, making threatening comments and using inappropriate language. After a 10-year hiatus, the Marching Illini appeared at the State Farm Center October the 8th, resuming a tradition that began in 1991. For the first time since 2019, the Marching Illini performed in concert. Its annual concerts came to a halt in 2013 due to past renovations of State Farm Center, previously known as Assembly Hall. TransUnion Rental Screening Solutions, alongside its Chicago-based parent company, reaching a $15 million settlement with the Federal Trade Commission and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau after failing to deliver accurate tenant screening reports of its customers. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim.
All right, thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. It's ESPN 93.5. We go to our learned one, the man who studied maps, who knows and understands the science. He is meteorologist Greg Solier with our weather forecast. Nice, idyllic little sunshine going on this morning in downtown Philo, my friend.
You bet, and a cool, crisp, typical autumn start to the day. Temperatures between about 40 and 44 degrees out there, and visibilities are beginning to come up in some of the usual suspect low, cold spots, if you will, i.e. some fog and haze areas. So that's an area improving, and just a little high-level cloud on the old infrared satellite channel. Diane, we have new statistics for the at least soybean harvest. Now, these are national numbers that have come on in so far. Over the past week to 10 days, another 39% of the beans have been harvested across the area. The total now for the season, about 63%. That is well ahead of the 5-year average, when typically we're running just a little hair above about 50% complete. So, and a fair amount of those, again, have been focused in the western Corn Belt areas and some of the drier regions of the eastern complex. So we continue to make headway and should be able to do so. Yeah, I know there are some pockets that are a little bit wet out there, but considering the dryness of the soils, the recent rains, we've had some pretty good absorption across the area, and there will be additional, somewhat smaller, but still windows of opportunity here the next 10 to 12 days. Probably late next week and beyond, but while warmer, probably a trend towards some more showery weather as well. No rain in the forecast for the day today, a partly sunny sky, and we'll get some of these puffed up or flat top fair weather straddle cumulus clouds to form on up as the day progresses. Light west wind 61, partly cloudy tonight 42. Tomorrow increasing clouds, and a Pacific system will begin to come our way with a late day shower chance to the west of the county and a high of about 67. Probably a fair covering of some quarter to less than half-inch shower activity between tomorrow night, Thursday, ending on Friday morning. Down to 52 tomorrow night, 64 on Thursday. Again, could be a sprinkle into the early afternoon for the parade on Friday, with a Friday afternoon high at 63. Kickoff at 62 on a Saturday afternoon, and a partly cloudy sky, then quiet weather with lower 60s, and dry weather too, Sunday to Monday of next week. For Steve Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Editor-in-chief of Jewish News Syndicate, host of Top Story with Jonathan Tobin on JNS, senior contributor to The Federalist, columnist for the New York Post, Newsweek, and other outlets. Jonathan Tobin, other than that, you're not busy. Tell me you're a Philadelphia Philly fan, Jonathan. Jonathan, are you there? Jonathan. Hear that sound?
Yes, sir.
There he is, Jonathan Tobin. Tell me you're a Philly fan, an Eagle fan, something fan if you're in Philadelphia, right?
Well, I'm originally from New York, so I don't root for any of their local teams here. So sorry.
Oh, sorry.
But they're having a pretty good. And I have to say, I am a Jets fan, so I'm pretty happy right now.
Well, I'm telling you, you know what?
You have to think. There's so many terrible things going on in the world. I have to take some satisfaction. Jets to beat the Eagles was pretty good.
Well, and I'm telling you what. Why would Aaron Rodgers go out and start tossing a football? Foam comes out of the mouth of the ESPN guys. He's not coming back with an Achilles, is he? Come on, Jonathan. If you get Aaron Rodgers back and have a chance to playoff, game on. The defense of the Jets is that good.
I guess he's Superman. That's all I can tell you. I have no idea.
All right. Jonathan Tobin is on. I guess tell me what you've gone through here in the last 10 days, Jonathan.
Well, it's been a horror. I think a lot of people sometimes think, and every once in a while we get this comeuppance. Like after 9/11, sort of Americans sort of woke up and we realized that history wasn't over, right? It's like, we thought horrible things only happened in the past in history books, and Israelis got a taste of that. Indeed, everybody, Jewish people got a taste of that. This was the worst mass slaughter of Jews since the Holocaust. Unspeakable crimes. I mean, just things you don't even want to think about, let alone talk about. And the point is, Israeli politics is as divided as American politics. They're at each other's throat, right and left, just like we are here. But they have come together around the idea that coexistence with a terrorist state next door, whose only purpose, Hamas's only purpose, is not to change Israel's borders, change its policies, have a two-state solution, better the lives of Palestinians. No. Their purpose is to destroy the state of Israel, no matter where its borders are, and to kill as many Jews as possible. And for 16 years, Israel tried coexistence with this terrorist state. Like they said, stay on your side of the fence, shoot rockets at us, we'll try to take out those rocket launchers. But other than that, we'll leave you alone, you leave us alone. That didn't work. And right now there is a strong consensus in Israel. The army is massing. That they've got to go into Gaza and take and completely defeat this Hamas government, this Hamas terrorist state. And that's the only way that there's a path to peace or anything better for anybody in the region. And it's got to start there. And America needs to support that.
How do you feel when you see the college campuses, when you hear the 20-year-old and 21-year-old saying it's all a lie, it's Israel's fault, and they didn't kill babies, they made that up, it's AI? I heard somebody say that. And you're going, how do you possibly talk to that?
I think a lot of us sometimes wonder, how did Holocaust denial happen, right?
Yeah.
What's wrong with these people?
Yeah.
Talk to a survivor, see the evidence. And it's the same thing, and it's ideology, it's hate. I say ideology stems from, a lot of these critical race theory and intersectionality that we deal with that is sort of infecting other sectors of American life, and which defines Israel and the Jewish people as white oppressors, which is nuts on so many levels, not least the fact that the majority of Israeli Jews are, by the definitions of the left, people of color because they trace their origins to the Middle East or North Africa. But it's that, sort of up is down, down is up. And people are also ignorant. They don't know the facts about Hamas. They don't know the facts about Israel. Israel isn't a colonizer. The Jewish people aren't colonizing their own homeland. The history of the Jews with Israel goes back a few thousand years, right? That's what's in the Bible. Just to open one book there, and so it's based on so much hate and ignorance and so much foolishness in the academy. It's discouraging to see. But you know what? As angry as I am about that, I'm even angrier about decent people, sort of well-meaning people, like all the pundits of the New York Times and Washington Post and all these other, national papers that are calling for a ceasefire and saying that there's some kind of moral equivalence between Israel and Hamas. They say, I know what Hamas did was bad, it's terrible, and they virtue signal on that. They said, but Israel, by striking back and trying to take out the terrorists, they're just as bad. No, sir. No. That is not the truth. That is a lie. And that's the big lie that could influence the Biden administration, which listens to these people, to back away from their support of Israel. And I'm worried about that.
Well, I mean, the irony of it, a little bit anyway, I think most Jewish people voted for Joe Biden. They're liberal. I think the masses of people in America that are Jewish, I think they vote liberal, don't they?
Oh, yeah, the majority of them do. About a third who are either politically conservative or religiously orthodox vote for the Republicans generally. The reasons why Jews vote for liberals is, it's like we could spend a whole long time talking about history and culture and all that. But, I think for the vast majority of Jews, no matter what their politics, they understood that what happened last week, the terrorists didn't ask which party you voted for in Israel. They didn't care whether the people there voted for Netanyahu or his opponents, and most of the people in some of those places voted for Netanyahu's opponents. The kids at the music festival that were slaughtered and raped and tortured, they didn't have, they didn't care whether they were religious or non-religious. They didn't care what nationality they were. There are 14 Americans who are currently being held hostage. Many Americans were killed. And, it's crazy. And we have to just keep that in mind, that's not, that we can't let this go on. And, as I saw somebody else, put on Twitter or X as they call it now, that, it may take a village to raise a child, as Hillary Clinton liked to say, but it seems to have taken a village to raise a terrorist, too. And the political culture in Gaza has to change, because when the terrorists returned, they were cheered. So, when Biden says that the mass majority of people in Gaza don't have nothing to do with Hamas, that's not true. They voted for Hamas. That's, they support it. That doesn't mean I don't want to see them killed. Israel isn't interested in revenge. They're not looking to repeat, getting even. They want to take out this terrorist state. And until that happens, this is just going to go on.
Jeffrey Tobin, just a few more minutes. All right, so can the IDF handle Hezbollah to the north and do what they want to do with Hamas?
Well, that's a good question. It can, doesn't want to. If Hezbollah plunges Lebanon into this war, the Lebanese people will suffer. And I think the one productive thing that the United States can do, I would say parenthetically, people have been asking me, do you know when this ground offensive will start? And, my answer is, it's like before D-Day, the army, Eisenhower didn't send out a press release telling the journalists when the attack was going to happen. They're not telling me now either. But the one thing I can tell you is that it's not going to happen today and it's not going to happen tomorrow, because Joe Biden is arriving in Israel for a photo op. And that's nice. Expressions of solidarity are great. I'm not a big fan of President Biden. I think his policies of appeasement of Iran have helped lead to this situation. But his statements of support for Israel last week have been exemplary. I think they're great, and I cheer him for doing that. I'm not sure what the purpose of this photo op is. I know Israel can't attack while he's there, but the one thing that the United States can do that would be productive and helpful is to send a message to Iran, the country that Biden has been busy appeasing, sending billions of dollars in ransom payments to the world's leading state sponsor of terror that funds Hamas, that funds Hezbollah, and tell them, back off, stand down. We're not going to let you escalate this. This is between Israel and Hamas, and you don't get involved. That would be a productive use of Joe Biden's time and Antony Blinken's time, and I hope that's what they're doing while they're getting their pictures taken.
I don't think Iran's going to listen to them. I don't think they will, because
they happily took their money. Right. I think perhaps the presence of a carrier task force off in the Eastern Mediterranean. Now, Israel doesn't want American troops or the Navy to do its fighting for it. Israel's never wanted anybody to do its fighting for it. But that's a message to send to Iran and Hezbollah to back off, and I think it's a strong message, and I think they should get that message. And as crazy as the mullahs in Iran could seem, I think they understand they want to keep their toys and keep their regime in power. They're busy killing their own people. Again, if this country, if the United States would stop appeasing Iran and start sending strong messages to them, the way, I might add, for all of his flaws, Donald Trump did, I think that could help that situation.
Jonathan Tobin, Tobin, editor-in-chief, Jewish News Syndicate, host of Top Story with Jonathan Tobin on JNS's Jewish Network, or is it
Jewish News Syndicate?
Same thing, Jewish News Syndicate. How can people connect with you, Jonathan?
They can go to jns.org. They can go to our channel on YouTube. They can read me in the Federalist or Newsweek, and happy to hear from people.
Well, appreciate it. I think we're in a real war on truth. I really do. When people are just denying stuff. I mean, there's still people today denying the Holocaust. You figure that out. I don't know how to communicate with people that just call you a liar. I don't know how do you do that? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just different planes of belief, I guess.
Listen, I think, I've said this, it's like you wonder, where does Holocaust denial come from, right? It's like, are they insane? Did they read any books? Did they talk to a survivor? It's the same dynamic going on, and it's fueled by hate, by ignorance, by ideology in some cases. And, our answer to it has to be strong and just saying, no, you're ignorant, you're stupid, listen to the facts, and drop your anti-Semitism. And don't give people a pass for this kind of, these sort of, this isn't something on which reasonable people can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree on lots of things, but whether it's okay to slaughter Jews, whether one Jewish state on this planet has a right to exist and defend itself, no, I'm sorry. I'm not debating that. You have to accept that. And if you don't accept that, you're discriminating. You're denying to the Jews that which you would not deny to anyone else. And as our friends the lawyers say, the term of art for that is anti-Semitism.
I just never, right to exist. Who in the heck decided that? I mean, I think Iran started saying that. Maybe it's been around a long, long time, but what do you mean right to exist? What are you talking about?
Listen, anti-Semitism is a virus. In some ways, it's like the most successful ideology of the last century because it attaches itself to every other ideology. It became part of fascism, part of Nazism, part of communism in the Soviet Union, and now it's part of Islamism. And if you're Jewish, every Passover you read a passage that says, "In every generation they rise against us." And this is sad. It's depressing news. Nobody wants to hear it. But it's just been illustrated once again. We don't get a vacation from history. Sometimes we accidentally bump into it. And our response has to be strong. It has to be to tell the forces of evil that we will not succumb to them, that those who support the forces of evil, we won't tolerate them.
Jonathan Tobin, jns.com, you said? JNS?
JNS.org.
.org. Okay, jns.org. Really a pleasure talking to you. Hope we can chat again, Jonathan.
I hope so. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Jonathan Tobin, Philadelphia this morning, ESPN 93.5 and day 11, I think, obviously if Joe Biden's going there, he's right. Nothing's happening here in the next couple of days, and maybe the president will be strong-worded against Iran. But it took a while. I'm not even sure. The administration has said Iran is behind Hezbollah and Hamas, which they've been funding forever, and we have the facts to prove that. Mm-hmm. All right, 8:22, ESPN 93.5. It is Tuesday morning. I'm Stevie Jay. It's Diane Ducey, and we'll be right back.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
September retail sales show shoppers kept buying. Retail sales rose 0.7%, more than double the estimate of 0.2%. A lot of that, though, due to strong car sales and higher gas prices. Year over year, retail sales jumped 3.8%. Now, these sales represent about a third of all consumer spending and usually offer clues on the strength of the economy, but September is a little different. It falls between the busy back-to-school and holiday shopping seasons and tends to give fewer clues on how the consumer's doing. U.S. auto safety regulators have opened a probe into whether General Motors' self-driving unit Cruise is taking sufficient precautions with its autonomous robo-taxis to safeguard pedestrians. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Stay on top of the latest forecast with America's Weather Team in the palm of your hands.
Here's the latest from America's Weather Center.
It's Fox weather updates throughout your busy day, every day.
5 inches of rain by tomorrow.
Temperatures being 30 degrees above average.
Put the power of over 100 meteorologists and the worldwide resources of Fox in your hands with the Fox Weather Podcast. Precise, personal, powerful. Subscribe and listen now at foxnewspodcasts.com.
Like every bank, there's a time every day when we stop making loans. But at Iroquois Federal, we never stop making a difference. Thanks to an amazing team of employees who give back to their local communities all over Central Illinois. From hospital boards and local school programs to Kiwanis and the United Way, Iroquois Federal employees donated more than 1,000 volunteer hours last year. And we'll do it again next year, because the only thing we like more than making a loan is making a difference. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Ready for some much-needed pampering and girl time? Merle Norman is just the place. Join in on the fun and frolicking on Witch's Day Out, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11 at Merle Norman Cosmetic Studio. We're talking door prizes, a spinning wheel with prizes and treats. Gather your friends and jump on your broom for a day of fun. Learn what works for your skin and rock some hot new looks. It's the fun Witch's Day Out at Merle Norman, Friday, October 27th, starting at 11.
Hey, it's Stevie Jay. I have a Stever for you today. The Stever is the program where some crazy radio guy gives out money so that you can spend it and keep the stuff. Say what? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You need an appliance? Microwave, refrigerator, freezer, washer, dryer, oven, stove. Hey, Dick Van Dyke, you get the whole store. You get everything they've got, including the incredible 10-year warranty. So here's their deal. If you think you can spend $1,000, I'll give you $500. So all you have to do is go to gostever.com, and click me. Then you'll be entered and you have a chance to get $500 off a minimum spend of $1,000 from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Easy. GoStever.com. If you're not a member, you can join and click as well and enter today. You get an email tonight if you win. GoStever.com for Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Short-term market fluctuations can be unnerving for everyone. A proven way to tune out the noise and focus on long-term investment goals is to adhere to a well-constructed investment plan. This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. If you don't have a plan in place, we can help create one designed specifically for you. Call us today for a complimentary consultation at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, or registered investment advisor.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com.
Right.
That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Okay, 8/27. It's the 17th. It's Tuesday. ESPN 93.5. Illinois is a 4-point underdog to Wisconsin for homecoming. All kinds of homecoming activities every day of the week this week.
That's right. The Global Talent Show is today.
What is the Global Talent Show?
I mean, it's kind of a salute to all the international students today. So it could be that you see talent from all over the world in this talent show this evening.
Okay, and where's that at?
I believe Lincoln Hall.
Lincoln Hall. So they'll have people that maybe culturally bring in their talent.
That's right.
That would be probably pretty darn interesting.
I agree. Now, we had talked with David Bambry, who's in charge of the University of Illinois Alumni Association, about the big gala and 9 different people coming in to be saluted on Thursday evening. Of course, the parade after 5:30 has the community involved, and that's going to go on 4th Street, then join Gregory, then head to 1st Street, and go up towards the State Farm Center. So if the community wants to park on the other side of the State Farm Center, that's a good choice. That's where the parade begins and ends, essentially, on on either side. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then the Grange Grove at 6:30 is where the big pep rally will take place with all the band and the cheerleaders.
That used to be on the quad. Now that's got the Grange Grove, perfect spot.
It's just so nice for the staging area. It's the same kind of formula for the Champaign County Freedom Celebration, too, to just have everybody gather where you have so much parking and you're able to accommodate so many people. And, of course, the 2:30 kickoff on Saturday against Wisconsin. I was just seeing that Seth Coleman, with his 3 sacks in that 27-24 win over Maryland, is a Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week. So way to go, Seth Coleman, our Defensive Player of the Week. And then our Big Ten leading rusher of the week was Kagan Fagan, and he's the Big Ten Freshman of the Week there, since he got, 84 yards and a touchdown, and had a great game.
Notice Brett Bielema had said that we asked them to block in a different way. Remember last week after the Nebraska game, we were all discouraged. He said we have to ask them to do what they can do.
Yeah.
And so blocking, whatever they change in Maryland, I'd go ahead and stick with it.
Yeah.
And see if we can upset Wisconsin, because they're coming in favored. So, it's amazing. You flip a switch. Yet 100% of the fans did not. Well, there's somebody out there that thought maybe Illinois would win. But most everybody wasn't planning on attending anymore. I mean, it's just.
I know it.
It was over. You disappointed me.
It's Feaster fam.
I believed in you. I voted for you.
Exactly.
And so, boom, all of a sudden it's game on. And we can think about the future, which could mean a bowl game. It's possible if you beat Maryland on the road, then the rest of the schedule at Iowa comparable to Maryland, but maybe couldn't beat Maryland. I mean, Maryland's good. 5-2. They were 5-1. They were 5-0 2 weeks ago.
I know.
Anyway, we'll see. But I'm extraordinarily optimistic that Brett Bielema is a really, really good coach, and I think he got more involved. I have no idea if that's true. He's going to be on tomorrow at 8:05.
That's right.
All right, back in a moment. ESPN 93.5, where it is now 8:30.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. President Biden flies to Israel tonight for meetings tomorrow with Israeli leaders about the war with Hamas terrorists in Gaza, then to Jordan for meetings with Arab leaders. There are more Israeli airstrikes in Gaza and shelling in Lebanon.
Rockets continue to strike Israel, both from the Gaza Strip and in the north, as Hezbollah continues to ratchet up tension and the risk of opening a second front.
Fox's Mike Tobin in southern Israel. Ohio Republican Jim Jordan hopes to win the House Speaker's gavel today. Votes planned on the House floor this afternoon, maybe multiple votes if Jordan doesn't get enough support. Ohio Republican Mike Turner on Fox and Friends.
Some of them are concerned about spending. Some of them are concerned about the budget. Some are concerned about defense. All of those areas, I think Jim has responded to. He just needs to be able to make certain he can get this over the line, and I think he's very close.
Kevin McCarthy was voted out as House Speaker 2 weeks ago today. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois officials monitoring the conflict in the Middle East and potential threats in the states. Governor's been briefed by the Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security and the Illinois State Police. He's instructed both to work closely with law enforcement partners and to be on heightened alert for any threats. Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan being awarded $1 billion in federal funding for the Midwest Hydrogen Hub. The hub is a multi-state, multi-sector network that enables decarbonization through strategic hydrogen use. It aims to reduce carbon emission by almost 4 million metric tons per year. The network will leverage all 3 state assets to expand the reach of the local hydrogen economy. Illinois Attorney General suing City Water, Light and Power. It's owned and operated by the city of Springfield, providing drinking water and electricity to the local residents. Lawsuit accuses the department of releasing more than 700 tons of fly ash into the environment back in 2021. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
The world's largest sportsbook, right at your fingertips. The Circus Sports Illinois app is ready for action. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. CircusSports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana. Saturday, pleasant day's worth of early autumn weather ahead for the day today. After some areas of low clouds and fog, we'll get into some sunshine. Next weather system of Pacific origin. Expected to increase shower activity here between late tomorrow, more likely tomorrow night into Thursday. Could linger on Friday, but no big deal expected. Maybe just a couple of sprinkles with parade activities in mind for homecoming and for homecoming itself, the ball game and into the weekend. Temperatures a little below average, but dry weather is expected. Same like today with a partly sunny sky, some fog patches around this morning. Heads up, keep the low beams on early on with a high temperature around 61. Light west wind, partly cloudy 42 tonight. Increasing clouds for the day tomorrow, breezy milder up to 67. Threat for a shower late in the day. And a couple of rounds of showers tomorrow night into Thursday, ending Friday quarter to less than half inch with harvest operations in mind. Highs up to about 64 on Thursday, 63 Friday, lower 60s for the weekend. Nights down near 40. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, so if you didn't hear Jay Lehman, you can go and listen to the podcast, StevieJay.com. And, Jay has been critical of Illinois. So this is what they sounded like at the beginning of the show yesterday. Every Monday at 3 p.m., Jay Lehman joins Lon Tay and Derek Piper.
Be real, that Nebraska game,
it was bad.
The way they played in that Nebraska game, they would not have beat another team on the schedule. Okay? So, when that's the last thing that you see, you're kind of like, what in the world was that, right? And I know every game is different. I understand that. But when they played like that against Nebraska, you got beat by 25 against Purdue. What are we supposed to say,
I agree.
right?
Exactly. I agree.
What are you supposed to say? They're like, oh, well, how do we ever say that? Well, because we saw that. Now, I will say this. I've been critical. Hats off to Brett Bielema, Barry Lunny, Aaron Henry on getting them ready to play, making them believe they could win, and going on the road and winning. I think he's got a winning Big Ten record.
Yeah.
Not at home.
Right.
But on the road. Correct?
It's amazing.
I think on the road he's one game over 500. Brett is.
Wow. Can I touch to something real quick on that?
Please.
2021, his first year, the big game that year, I don't know if the unexpected game was Penn State, right? 9 overtimes, you beat Penn State. Last year, when you had a good season going, you went into Michigan, who was ranked in the top, 4, I think, and you didn't think there was a chance, right? Illinois loses 19-17 at Michigan. This year, you're struggling. You go back on the road at Maryland, a team that everybody in the Big Ten is high on. They just played Ohio State pretty tough for a half, and you win that game. So that's 3 straight years. I know the Michigan game was a loss, but 3 straight years where right in the middle of a schedule, Brett Bielema's taken an Illinois squad on the road, and they have performed as well as they did in any game.
100%. 100%. He's got something going on with understanding how to get these guys to rally around themselves and believe when nobody else is believing.
Agree.
I mean, I was as down on Illinois football after watching Nebraska play. Let's remember, guys, and I hate to bring up old stuff. We had 2 kickoffs that weren't even caught. One that was recovered by Nebraska. We had 2 plays from the 1-foot line. We couldn't get across.
You want to hear the whole thing, you go to StevieJay.com and check out the podcast, but it's an hour of information and energy. And now it's happy because we beat a team that nobody thought we would. Mm-hmm. And so it's definitely a spring in your step when you're 3-4 versus 2-5. And I think there'll be a good crowd. I think there'll be a lot of energy. And I think it'll be a really good game with Wisconsin that we can win, which is fun to think about. And then you got a week off, and everybody kind of gets better, and they come back in November with, you got your Indiana, Minnesota, you had Iowa, and Northwestern. So I can't believe how fast this season's going. And Illinois basketball Friday night.
I know, against Ottawa with an exhibition game at 8 o'clock. So here we go.
No, it's quick. It happens quickly. And you got Halloween in 15 days, 14 days.
Yeah.
So trick-or-treat candies everywhere.
I know.
You can buy by the bag. So anyway, we're happy about Illinois football this week.
That's right.
But that's what we are. We're fickle people. Luke Fickell's the coach of Wisconsin. Hopefully he'll be fickle when he comes in. Brett knows Luke really, really well. They've come up through the ranks over the years. Brett became a head coach way sooner than about anybody, because there's no way Barry Alvarez, the guru of Wisconsin football, would ever give the reins to a young Brett Bielema at age, 34, whatever Brett was. So, Coach, he spoke yesterday. Coach Bielema, what changes after a win like that?
Yeah, really to stay status quo. Our schedule for Sunday really remains the same. When I might tweak it, just because of the number of reps in a game, like the amount of time that we devote to the opponent versus the upcoming opponent, but we pretty much every Sunday kind of put the game to bed, win or lose, and then have a brief dinner break. We did have a victory meal, which I think our guys really enjoy. I know coaches enjoy as well. And then,
would you remind me to ask him what a victory meal is? Because I presume every meal at that level are pretty good meals. Mm-hmm. So there must be something special put in there, prime rib. I don't know.
Otherwise, it's probably a taco bar or something.
Yeah, I like taco bars.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah,
but
yeah. I definitely want to know what a victory meal is.
It's not filet mignon.
Yeah, but those guys, they eat a ton because they burn a ton of calories. So you got to feed a 320-pound lineman. So there's that.
Jumped into our preparation for Wisconsin. Sometimes we'll take them out on the field, depending on kind of where we are injury-wise and everything. But for the most part, that Sunday, the reason we do that is to really win or lose. You flush it and move on. And I want them to hear walking out of the building on Sunday night, nothing but our next opponent, which obviously was Wisconsin. So they turn the page, and then today is a day off, but we see a lot of our kids come through, watch film, get early game plan thoughts, and obviously come over and get a lot of treatment. Some of our guys do a voluntary lift on Monday as well.
Yep.
Confidence in my coaches, Barry Loney.
That was when I said, yesterday I was talking about, it's 4th and 1. They're going for the field goal, and I was disappointed. Then there was a kind of a melee. He'll explain it. He had a timeout, but it was his last one. I think he was going to burn it, but then Maryland called timeout.
Confidence in my coaches, Barry Loney.
Why did you go for it?
Confidence in my coaches, Barry Loney. I asked him if he felt good about the call, and he immediately answered, said he felt great with the call. All the offensive coaches felt that way. And then, there was a little bit of a three-headed monster going into that little scenario, right? We got really close on the pass play, so we were trying to get a read from the officials on whether or not the ball was crossed. They've gotten really hairy this year about coaches leaving the box. I was trying to get down there to ask the question, and the clock was running, and I had one timeout to use, obviously. So a little bit of that going on, with the addition to, if it was short, do we want to go for it? Do we want to kick the field goal? And then obviously when they called timeout, that kind of cleared everything up for us and let us go to that moment.
Well, they went to a break. You had Caleb Griffin on the field, and going to make it 14-10. But then Caleb Griffin wasn't on the field, and you go, okay, good. Well, it was 1st and goal, but the time was the issue. You had one timeout left, so you had a couple of shots at it. And then, after the officials came in, nobody said touchdown. You're going, not again. And then they went in, looked at, unpiled everybody, and Caden was clearly across the line. Touchdown. We thought we were across the line against Nebraska.
Right.
Twice. So it's, but it was just impossible not to say, oh boy, here we go again. Mm-hmm. This is going to happen to me. We're going to lose in the second half. Mm-hmm. Just like Eeyore, is that the
yes?
Yeah,
from Winnie the Pooh.
Everything's bad.
Exactly.
We've been through this before.
Little rain cloud over his head.
But all of a sudden we win. Caleb Griffin kicks the field goal. We win. He has 2 walk-off field goals. Keep in mind, Luke Altmaier, who's on every Monday with Lon and Derek. 405. He sounds great. He's had 2 fantastic marches to get us 2 wins with Toledo and Maryland now. So Barry Lunny said Luke Altmaier is very close to being very, very good. And you're seeing glimpses of some of these plays. Yeah. So anyway, 8:42.
Illini fans, for a limited time at Jets Pizza, new popcorn chicken pizzas. They're tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. It's new and a limited time offer, so don't miss out. Try any of the 4 for just $17.99. Code BBQ. Their popcorn chicken pizzas are perfect to order while watching football with friends and family. Try their tasty popcorn chicken on their famous BBQ, Aloha BBQ, Buffalo Ranch, or Bacon Ranch pizzas. Just $17.99. Code BBQ. Jets, better because it has to be.
With the leaves and temperatures beginning to fall, it's time to make sure those furnaces are in great running order. Get that furnace tuned up so it doesn't let you down on the cold nights. Dogtown is the People's Choice #1 HVAC company again in 2023. Ask about the current 0% financing offer on all Lennox high comfort systems and single component units for qualifying applicants. The number's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club?
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
All right, here we go. Sports headlines, 844.
In Major League Baseball action, Texas over Houston 5-4, so the Rangers are up 2-0, Stevie.
Yeah, I can't root for Houston. They cheated. I can't get over that right now. Just don't want them to win. Don't want anything bad to happen in any of them, but I just don't think Houston deserves to win. They absolutely lied and cheated their way to a World Series. And so, anyway, yep, a happy Rangers, go Rangers. Now they go home to Arlington, Texas.
Wednesday, 7:03, first pitch.
Let's go.
Philadelphia over Arizona, 5-3, 7:07 for that game on TBS as the Phillies lead 1-0. And Bryce Harper turning 31. I don't know if you saw that home run.
Yeah.
And then when he tapped home plate, then he blew out the candles and all of that. Said he always wanted to have a birthday celebration and a Major League Baseball game all in one. So he got that wish. Well, our Illinois men's golf team is in action, and we're on top of the leaderboard after round 2, and they made up some holes where they ended up 13 under 271 in Dayton for the Flyer Invitational and a tie with Marquette. So we'll see how they continue into that tournament today.
Congratulations to Mary Henson, of course, wife of legendary Illinois basketball head coach Lou Henson, selected as the the first recipient of the Spirit of the Illini Award, created by the University of Illinois Division of Intercollegiate Athletics to honor an individual who has exemplified character, has made significant contributions to the Fighting Illini family, and has helped unify the community with excellence and honor.
Nice.
No better recipient for the first one than Mary Henson.
And we'll see her at halftime of the homecoming football game against Wisconsin on October 21st.
All right, it was Luke Altmaier, the quarterback, on every Monday with Lonte and Derek Piper. How about that last drive? How about Casey Washington? What's going through your head, man?
Yeah, so we obviously needed to score the tie game there. Maryland did a good job in that fourth quarter to put themselves in position to tie the game and try to go into overtime with us. And as an offense, we were, kind of struggling there in the second half at that point, but we were very confident in our 2-minute offense. We've had a lot of success in that department, and we just try to go out there and make plays and try to put the ball in good field position for Caleb Griffin to go make a kick, which he did, or try to score a touchdown, either or. But I had a lot of great players around me who made a lot of plays. Obviously Casey Washington making an incredible play, and no surprise there. I think Casey's just super underrated as a player. Doesn't get a lot of looks or whatever it may be, but a guy who's hard worker, has incredible ball skills, and I know there's just so many good things coming to him.
Luke Altmaier, you can hear the whole interview at steviejay.com on the podcast from last night's show. But yeah, Mondays are action-packed, particularly when we win.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy we won the football game, but I knew Monday was going to be good. Because everybody wants to hear when you win.
That's right.
It's like, what's your name again? If you lose. That's just kind of how we're with you, win or tie.
I know.
Not even a tie. We're just with you win.
Right.
That's just the nature of fans.
Absolutely.
All right, 847.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Let Max Twin City Recycling pay you for your junk metal items. As the weather begins to heat up, now is a great time to put cash in your pocket for the steel, copper, brass, and aluminum items you've been meaning to get rid of. We've recently added a large concrete pad to make unloading quicker and cleaner for our customers. Visit us on North Lincoln Avenue, just north of I-74, or at maxrecycling.com.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Well, as you plan for homecoming, it's going to be nice, 62 and sunny at kickoff at 2:30. But remember, it'll be dark when you leave, so
True.
Air will be.
And right now, things are looking good for our live broadcast at Pia's after 3 on Friday, 1609 West Springfield Avenue. And of course, we're always handing out tickets to the game.
Yeah, and people want them this week. $8.50.
Well, again, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana and vicinity. Nice couple of days ahead across the area with temperatures inching back to more seasonal expectations for the day tomorrow. Next weather system of Pacific origin has a little more movement to it, not stalling out or slow moving like last week's system. And the rain amounts will be much lesser and lighter, so hopefully some opportunities to continue on with harvest in mind and what's been so far relatively good and accelerated harvest season. No worries for homecoming this weekend weather-wise for both Friday as well as for the ball game on Saturday. Some patchy fog around this morning, otherwise partly sunny. 61 will bottom out at 42 for tonight. Creasing clouds turning breezy and mild tomorrow up to 67. Chance for a shower to the west of us late in the day. Creasing south wind. Occasional showers tomorrow night, low down to 52. A couple of showers around for the day Thursday at 64. Might sprinkle for the parade on Friday, and that'll be mainly an early afternoon possibility. The high to 63. Kickoff temperatures at 62 for Saturday with some sunshine into Sunday and Monday. Highs again are in the lower 60s. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Operator overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Local, personal, trusted. Hi, this is Todd Durakan with First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, and we've been serving Champaign County since 1908. Our institution is safe, strong, and stable. We operate on a foundation of responsible and sound practices, and you can rest easy knowing we're your bank. Rated 5-star superior by Bauer Financial Inc., fast, friendly, and local, with local loan decisions and underwriting. If you're not already banking with us, give us a try, and we think you'll love it here. First Federal Savings Bank, 356bank.com, member FDIC, equal housing lender, NMLS 435120.
The best steaks in Central Illinois belong to one institution, and that's the Long Branch Steakhouse in beautiful downtown eclectic Gifford. I'm Jay Lehman. I'm a regular at Long Branch Steakhouse. I take my wife. I take my kids. I love the fried pickles, fried mushrooms, the onion rings, and of course, the steaks. The ribeye is my personal favorite. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9. Tell Donnie Jay Lehman sent you. Don't forget the mac and cheese. Open Wednesday through Saturday from 5 to 9 in downtown Gifford.
Yeah, we're planning our... Mary, you're eligible to go to our Christmas party at Long Branch this year. You and your husband can come eat with us. Anyway, we're going to do that in December, where you can have a private party up there at Long Branch. And, you order whatever the heck you want.
That's right.
I pay for it, so what
and
the heck?
And we just take over the restaurant because they're closed on the evenings that he has the Christmas parties for your company. So it's a great fit.
I get the big ribeye and then a mac and cheese and mashed potatoes and... Got your Brussels sprouts and your salad with the frog dressing. And
absolutely.
Then he has some sort of a pumpkin pie deal for us. Anyway, you can do that too if you want to call Donnie at Long Branch and have a Christmas party. Holds 54 people.
And if you need some fun games, and of course you get $20 bills or whatever for the winner, Stevie
I wasn't going to do that program anymore.
What?
But I'm just kidding.
I mean, that's where I really raked in the money. I won like every game.
Did you really? Well, dominating. But no, that's what we do. We give out money too. So, yeah. Okay, so Lon and Derek will be on this afternoon. And again, Friday Live from Pia's. A lot of people do enjoy that, 3 to 5. Eric Meyer hosting us out at Pia's on West Springfield. We really have a lot of fun with that.
We do.
And yeah, Martin O'Donnell coming on. You got Akeem Spence, who played in the NFL. He'll be a guest. So we'll have some fun with some people.
Absolutely. It's fun to celebrate the alumni when they're coming back. And we also have the basketball team in action at 8 o'clock against Ottawa. The volleyball team will be in Maryland at 6 o'clock. It is a busy time.
Well, Pregnancy Resource Center is doing their annual banquet, and that's at iHotel on Friday night. Grace is hosting 950 people. I mean, in different rooms and videos, how in the world?
Yeah.
That's a lot of folks.
And Al and Lisa Robertson are known for their work with Duck Dynasty. That was so popular back in the day. So they know how to call a spade on some injustices we see in the world.
We'll see on Friday night. Okay, so the Stever, I'm giving out $500 to 2 people today to go buy an appliance from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You have to spend at least $1,000. That'll be, sadly, easy to do these days. $500 though, I'm going to help you. If you're interested, just text in DVD or go to GoStever.com and get entered, and then you'll hear from us later today if you're chosen as one of the winners. You have 7 days to go on and start the process, and then hopefully it works out and you're real happy with your new appliance. And
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is at 1510 North Neal Street in Champaign.
All right, we're done. Enjoy the weather. This is really nice fall weather. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Wednesday, Brother Johnny Ed Martin, highlight the program. See if I can get Mike Tobin on the line. He's live from, I think he's in Tel Aviv.
Right.
Where they're worried about Hezbollah hitting the north as Hamas is down in the south. So, okay, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you, Diane.
Enjoy the day.
Again, GoStever.com or text in DVD to 217-359-2255 for the offer. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you. ESPN 93.5. I'm Stevie Jay. Have a great Tuesday.
I'm Justin Ike, co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground.
So, Justin, tell me what you see as typical when it comes to sewer repair. Give me a scenario.
Your sewer's backed up and somebody comes along and says, you need this repair for X amount of dollars. Here's my price. And you don't think to go looking for another company or a second opinion because you don't feel like you have time.
So is it possible that you might get charged a little more because it's kind of a desperate moment? Do some companies do that?
Oh, absolutely they will. They know you're in a pinch. Typically, if you call us, me or Will can be out there within an hour to look at that problem for you. Whether you call me first, you call me second, make sure you give me a call.
Anything else, Justin?
You can always trust Fred's.
Great to know. Thank you. That's Justin Ike, the co-owner of Fred's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Electric, and Underground. If you want more information about this great 45-year family-owned company, just go to fredscu.com. That's fredscu.com.
In an ever-changing real estate market, it is so important to work with experienced agents like Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor teams at Taylor Realty Associates. They have the knowledge and expertise to get your home sold for the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. Trust the experience and success of Russ and Nick Taylor with the Taylor team at Taylor Realty Associates. Give them a call today at 217-355-0700 or visit them online at taylorboys.com. That's taylorboys.com.
Looking for a place to host a corporate meeting, intimate gathering, or a large-scale celebration? If so, the University of Illinois' Alice Campbell Alumni Center offers the perfect space and staff to make your function a success. A few rooms offered at the center include the Elegant Ballroom, the Richmond Family Gallery, and the Premier and Professional Executive Boardroom. For more information on renting a space at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center, visit uiaa.org/alumni-center or call 1-800-355-2586. Go Illini!
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy, in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business, as well as Central Illinois employees dedicated to providing you with professional installation and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
Well, you got events all week long. I mean, it's Dinner on the Quad Monday, Homecoming International Day Celebration Tuesday, Greek Support Homecoming, among other things, on Wednesday. Thursday's the Shabbat Campus for Jewish Life Dedication ribbon cutting.
We will have, a lot of featured guests throughout the week, obviously.
Yeah.
The Homecoming Parade on Friday. That'll be at 5:30.
Global Talent Show is on Tuesday night, and there's just so many fun festivities. Where do we go for more information?
Absolutely. Homecoming.illinois.edu. Go line up.
Hey, it's Stevie Jay. I have a Stever for you today. The Stever is the program where some crazy radio guy gives out money so that you can spend it and keep the stuff. Say what? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. You need an appliance? Microwave, refrigerator, freezer, washer, dryer, oven, stove. Hey, Dick Van Dyke, you get the whole store. You get everything they've got, including the incredible 10-year warranty. So here's their deal. If you think you can spend $1,000, I'll give you $500. So all you have to do is go to gostever.com, and click me. Then you'll be entered, and you have a chance to get $500 off a minimum spend of $1,000 from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Easy, easy. GoStever.com. If you're not a member, you can join and click as well and enter today. You get an email tonight if you win. GoStever.com.